I think it's generally a good track. Obviously, I think it's quite good in that it forces the teams to make a bit of a decision. Do you want to be first in the sort of the corners of the first and middle sectors, or do you want to be, do you want to prioritize that big straight? We've seen quite a lot of action. I think particularly, what was it, maybe 2019 or 18 as well, with the cars that we had then sort of, overtaking and then, almost getting repassed just because of the length of the straight and moving in and out of the toe. I think it just forces the teams to make a decision, which normally leads to interesting racing. Obviously, that there's quite a high risk of collisions, particularly on the first lap, and collisions with the barrier are also something that we do see quite a lot. Also, it's about the point in the season where the engines are starting letting go, so the safety car risk is really high, and I think that's what contributes to, a lot of the sort of peril of this race, what makes it so exciting. I think my favourite memories of I think they've got to be sort of, the drama that's happened, particularly with the higher downforce cars we had from 2017, where it seems that a lot of cars were just sort of magnetized together. We had, Vettel obviously ramming into Lewis Hamilton and claiming he brake checked him, or obviously the infamous collision between Daniel Ricciardo and Max Verstappen, which probably facilitated or helped, that breakdown in relationship and Ricciardo leaving the team. Those are the sort of things that jump into my mind when I think of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. You look at it on paper, and I must admit, you look at the track and you just think it doesn't look that great, really. It's a bit awkward, it's a bit tricky in places for sure, but it does produce some very eventful races. There is usually drama here. We had that last year, of course, as well, Tom. Literally right to the checkered flag. You didn't know how it was going to go. There were some excellent battles. Piastri and Charles Leclerc, I believe it was, battling for the lead last year as well. It's been on the calendar now since 2016, so it's a track that's been on here for quite some time, and it could potentially produce some more drama this year as well, with the title battle going the way it is.
Yeah, it is, as Owen said, it is a bit of a compromise track, and it is like, I'm not going to use the phrase that you put in our pre podcast notes, but yeah, it is. I would say it's all right, not the word that you used, but yeah, it's let's say a very compromised track. It's on paper, you think, yeah, it's not going to be any good, but it is kind of like it's a jackpot or nothing kind of race. I think it does. If you were to run a track with robots around, run a race with robots around this track, it would be really, really dull. It needs that human element. It needs the ability to make a mistake. And I don't think the racing is incredible because of the type of circuit it is. 2.2 kilometers straight, though, means that if a car is set up for high speed, then you're going to get passing. If a car is set up for downforce, then you're going to have probably some passing because of those early right angle corners, which would then potentially lead to overtaking to turn three, turn four, turn three, I think maybe. So it's not an ideal circuit for great racing, but because of the proximity of the barriers, the high speed straights, the high speed nature, and the different types of areas of the track, it is normally something happens there. And it's just looking back to I remember watching the first race, the first F2, I think it may have been GP2 at the time, GP2 race in 2016 at the European Grand Prix in Baku, and just thinking, this is going to be insane. Like, people are actually going to die in the Formula One race in this race. And it was just mental. Everything, like every time there was safety car restart after safety car restart, crash, just craziness everywhere. And as a result, the F1 drivers were so cautious. It was one of the dullest races in history in 2016. The Azerbaijan Grand Prix has always been pretty good, but the European Grand Prix was terrible in Formula One stakes. So, yeah, it's all right. It's all right. I don't think it'll ever be a classic venue and a track that people are going to love, but it's going to be a track that creates drama and good races. But yeah, it just needs that human element to actually make something happen. So if they're good, it's not.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Max Verstappen had a dramatic puncture here as well. Even in qualifying, Charles Leclerc, his infamous "I am stupid" radio call that he did, that was Azerbaijan, and that was the castle section, which has got to be the narrowest section of any modern F1 track. Monaco somewhere might be tighter, but that's got to be the tightest bit of any modern Formula One circuit. And yeah, the whacking great long start-finish straight. It's and it might not be now. I think Las Vegas may have overtaken it, but either way, it's a very, very long, very, very long flat out area there. So yeah, it's one that's definitely got the potential for drama for sure.